Okay. Well, thank you for all of you for coming this morning. The first thing I want to say is that I want to personally apologize to everyone who's been inconvenienced by all of the delays and cancellations we've had here at New York Penn Station because of the recent incident. It's our job to make sure that all of the passengers, both on Amtrak and on our commuter partners, can travel safely and reliably. We know we let them down, quite frankly, and we're committed to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I've just been downstairs. I visited with all the hardworking crews who are putting the track and the stitches back together. I can say that we expect to have full service restored here at Penn Station by tomorrow morning. I will also tell you that based on our investigation, we can confirm that this was a track problem with our tracks in the station. And in fact, there were track problems.
Could you speak up a little bit, sir?
Sure. Okay, sure. That there were track problems that caused both of our recent derailments. We had a derailment on March 24th with an Acela train. That was the result of a mismatch between two pieces of rail, and that allowed a wheel to climb one of the rails and derail. The second derailment with the New Jersey Transit train on Monday morning was the result of the gauge of the rails widening because there were weak timbers underneath it. As all of you know, we've been working around the clock to repair all of this damage caused by the second incident and to ensure that we do not have any other track problems in that area. We've taken some immediate steps to fix those issues. Once we discovered this issue with the misaligned rail from a couple of weeks ago, we immediately surveyed all of the station to see if we had any other similar condition. We did not. And in addition, we have now changed our specifications to ensure that we never have a problem like that again. We have now launched joint inspections of the entire New York Penn Station track infrastructure with the Federal Railway Administration to ensure that all aspects of our infrastructure are in good working order. We will share all of the results of these inspections with our partners at New Jersey Transit and the Long Island Railroad to make sure they understand fully what we found. We're putting a team together to look at all of the maintenance issues and deficiencies around this station, and we will prioritize all of the work that we find that needs to be done, not only in terms of Amtrak operations, but in terms of all the other priorities that folks have for the use of our tracks down there. And finally, I will be personally leading a comprehensive review, not only of Penn Station, but of all of our maintenance practices in our engineering department and Amtrak, including bringing in some independent experts to absolutely ensure that we have the right processes and the right organization in place to maintain and improve our infrastructure. For more than 40 years now, Amtrak has worked alongside the commuter rail lines on the Northeast Corridor. It's a proven partnership, and we're dedicated to making sure that we provide the levels of service that are essential if people are going to use rail travel. We're committed to providing reliable transportation service for everyone, and we're committed to providing a better experience for both the customers of Amtrak and our commuter partners. And I'll be happy to take your questions.
Mr. Moorman, after the March 24th derailment, given what you
Excuse me, thank you, Christina.
After
Yes,
the
sir.
March 24th derailment, was the proper urgency in place to make sure that that condition was not repeated everywhere else? In other words, was a step missed after the first derailment?
No steps were missed. Within a day, we had surveyed the entire station to make sure we did not have a similar condition anywhere, and we immediately then changed our specifications so that people would never have that condition again.
Sir, how are you ensuring this afternoon service and tomorrow morning? How are you ensuring that regular service?
We will not have full service until tomorrow morning. How are we ensuring it? We are making sure that the infrastructure issues that were in place that caused this derailment have been fully corrected.
And you're confident that'll be done in time for tomorrow?
I am confident that we will have full service for rush hour tomorrow morning.
On your first answer, sir, on your first answer, you said that after the first incident, a full audit was done and everything was carefully examined. You said, how does it happen again so quickly after that first incident if everything had been examined?
The audit was done of the condition that caused the first accident. This was a very different cause of the second accident.
The Long Island Railroad says that it's offered up its employees to help do the repairs on the tracks. Did you ever take them up on that? If not, why not?
Well, the constraining factor for repairing the tracks is not the number of employees. It is the fact that there was an extraordinary amount of damage in a very, very confined area. And so, as I say, I was just down there. We have a lot of people working, but we have to ensure that, one, they're not stepping over each other, and two, they're all working safely. So it was not a constraint on the part of the number of employees.
Yes,
So,
in response
to New Jersey Governor Chris Christie saying he's stopping engine transit payments to Amtrak and may consider suing for the 2016 maintenance funds that just
well, you know, I understand the governor is upset, and he has a right to be upset. I will say that withdrawing funding is not going to solve any of the problems. And I will also point out that the New Jersey Transit to commit capital funding to Penn Station is fairly recent because of congressional legislation that was passed some years ago. So our commitment is to work with New Jersey Transit, Long Island Railroad, all of our partners to ensure that Penn Station's infrastructure is in top condition and that we can operate all of our trains safely. But I will also go back to point out to you all that if you look at Penn Station today, since the last major infrastructure renewals in Penn Station, train count and ridership has essentially doubled. It is an incredibly congested and complex operation. And one of the things, quite frankly, that slows us down is we get very, very limited amount of time for maintenance down there because our goal is not to impact service at all. So, but it is a complex place, it's extraordinarily busy, and quite frankly, that's only going to continue. When you look around and you see development in the greater New York area, there are going to be more and more people coming into this station, and they're going to be coming by rail. So we have a lot of work to do. We're committed to do that work, but I don't want to tell you that this is going to be easy. We're just going to have to work very hard to get it done.
Did you feel like a human punching bag yesterday, given the abuse you took from Chris Christie and the MTA?
Let me.
Yesterday you got shots from the MTA.
Let me say this. Amtrak has the responsibility for New York Penn Station. We have a lot of customers that we deal with. In this instance, we disappointed our customers. We understand that, and we take responsibility for it, and we're committed to making sure that it doesn't happen again.
So do you consider yourself a customer, or is it more of a landlord-tenant relationship?
You know, at the end of the day, I consider anyone who operates on Amtrak right-of-way to be one of our customers. Our obligation to everyone is to provide them safe and reliable infrastructure so that they can operate their business and help make this city work.
Can you explain what happened in the second incident and when that track was last inspected?
What happened in the second incident is we had a section where the timbers, the cross ties under the track, were somewhat weak. And as a result, a train came through and it essentially shoved the rails apart, and one or two wheels, however many it was, initially fell in. The track had been, we inspect on a very regular schedule. We had notations that these timbers needed to be replaced. We clearly did not have the understanding that there was an imminent failure. But we did have that location identified with others, and we knew that at some point this year in our maintenance program, we would be getting to it. Clearly, that was something where we got it wrong.
When did you inspect it
It certainly was in the past few days. We inspect everything in the station, I think at least twice a week.
And just to clarify, the weakened timbers, that was on your list of this could be a potential trouble spot, but you didn't think it would be imminent?
I think that's the appropriate way to put it. We were aware that we had some issues in that area, but we felt that we could maintain it in proper order when we have finally received time to get in there and maintain it. I because one, as I said, we're doing another comprehensive audit with the Federal Railway Administration, and we'll take whatever action is required as a result of that audit. We inspect all of the track in Penn Station on a very regular basis, yes.
Given what you know now, sir, given what you know, how do you characterize the state of the infrastructure? What condition is it in?
So that's a great question. The state of the infrastructure is, I would characterize it as fair, but you have to remember, we've been through some periods in the not too distant past where Amtrak has not received a great deal of funding, and we have a lot of catch up to do. Now we are in the process of doing that. We have plenty of plans to do that, but that's kind of, that, if you want my characterization of it, I think that's where it would be.
Trouble you, and do you think you'll get funding sooner rather than later to deal with?
I think that we can deal with these problems. Yes.
The length of this particular problem is that you said you were aware of the timber issue. When did you become aware of it, and how long basically did it go?
I just know that that track has been inspected. It had been, there was an awareness that there was some track issues that needed to be corrected in normal order. What there was not an awareness of clearly was that there would be an imminent, more dire failure, if you will.
How many other